What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Lasagna Show. What the fuck was that game, man? If you're watching this right now, get in the chat. I want you screaming and yelling at the top of your fucking lungs. I want all your opinions. I want all the reactions. Oh my God. Where do we even start? Where do we even start with a game like that? I mean, whew, man. It had to be my shortstop, too, with the game on the line right there. Counting on him. What? Needed him to come through, man. Needed him to come through. And that is a tough way to go out. On the bright side, the Yankees were 1 for 18 with runners in scoring position today. It was 0 for a lot. They ended up getting one hit. Man, but when that June swoon hits, that June swoon takes no prisoners, man. Oh, man. That went from a well-pitched game that felt like it was going to go quick to an absolute travesty to one of the most infuriating offensive performances from the New York Yankees that I've ever seen. Ever. Like, I think that was the first time they went more than 9 innings without scoring a run since 2004. That's 21 years. I mean, what happened to the best offense in baseball? What happened to this juggernaut offense that was, crushing every fucking baseball in sight for the first couple months of the season? The calendar turns to June, and for some reason, this team just can't figure it the fuck out. Like, what do we got to do? What can Boone? Can Boone do anything? Is there any leader in that clubhouse? Hey, Captain, can you wake these guys up a little bit? What is it about June every year? I just don't understand. It's hard. It's hard to watch, man. That down the stretch, constantly having runners in scoring position, constantly finding ways to just fuck it up, not moving runners, sometimes a bunt works. A lot of analytics people don't like the bunt. Obviously, I get it. It limits your run earning potential for the inning or for that situation or whatever the numbers say. I get it. But sometimes a bunt's not a bad idea, especially in extra innings when you're the home team and one run is all you need to win the baseball game. If it's 0-0 and you got the last at bats and extras, do what you can to get those runners in scoring position so somebody in that fucking lineup can come through. One person. All you need is a bleeder. It's just, and then how many times do I have to say, stop putting fucking Lasagna in a second inning of work situation? Stop giving them multiple innings. For whatever fucking reason, the second time he comes out, it's not good. He's not crisp. He's not locating well. Trouble happens, walks, base hits, soft contact, whatever the hell you want to say. Some people are like, oh, it was a crazy high pitch or whatever. It was just bad luck. It was a changeup. You can't throw changeups anywhere up in the zone within reach of a fucking barrel, especially to a lefty that can just throw barrel and flip it the other way. It's a gift. It's a BP fastball velocity cookie sitting right up there for a professional hitter to just serve it the other way. And that's exactly what happened. I don't understand the second inning Loizaga shit that continues to happen. Are they not watching the same fucking games we're watching? It doesn't fucking work. Like, how many more times you got to see him blow it until you figure that the fuck out? How many times does he have to keep getting hurt until you figure that the fuck out? I just don't understand. What are these guys watching? Some goofy Ivy League fuck in the front office up there has got to figure it the fuck out eventually, right? There's some fucking statistic they can pull out of their ass off of their Excel fucking spreadsheet and figure out that you can't keep putting Lasagna in that second inning work because it doesn't work out often. If we can see that from our fucking couch, why can't they? I mean, oh my God, there's just so much to fucking talk about with this game. The lack of situational hitting, the poor base running, the poor hitting with runners in scoring position, the poor decision to have Loaizaga go second inning. The offense that is just gone in the last I think someone said the last 45 or 50 innings, they've scored like 4 or 5 runs. What happened to the juggernaut? I know there was going to be some regression with this group. They weren't going to, lead the league in every fucking offensive category for the whole season. But they're better than this, right? You hope. I hope so. If this offense keeps doing what they're doing, I mean, I know they faced Soriano, who had some pretty nasty shit today. I got to my captain Soriano. He was nasty. He was throwing 99-mile-an-hour sinkers. I get it. The breaking balls were filthy. He was locating pitches. He was attacking the strike zone. It was tough to hit today. You got to tip your cap. Soriano was good. But, I mean, facing the guys in the bullpen, some of those, I mean, outside of Kenley, I think the last couple guys, I never even heard of them. You can't. And you're getting a free runner in extra innings, a free runner with no outs. And you're the home team, getting the last at bats. In a 0-0 game, multiple chances to bring that runner in, and you can't do it. I don't know, man. After the Red Sox series, getting swept, now we get this. This Angels team is not that good, man. There's a couple of decent players, but this group should not be holding you scoreless into extras. That's unacceptable. Yeah, there was a lot of balls that were hit tonight. Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger had a couple of them. Judge had one that was smoked to center field. There were some pretty hard hit balls tonight, and a few of them I thought were going out. Trent Grisham hit one hard into the gap. Stanton, had a few hits. He hit the ball over 100 miles an hour 3 times. The Yankees had a better expected batting average overall in this game than the Angels did. So you can't fault them for, not scoring the ball up, because they did score the ball up tonight, and they did it a handful of times. I got it. You can't deny that. But to not score a single run into extras and the multiple extra innings when you get a free runner and you're the home team, you get the last at bats, you get the last opportunity to try to win the game and finish things. Just unacceptable. Is there anything Boone can say in that clubhouse to wake these guys up in June? Why is it every single fucking year like clockwork? It happens like this every year. It's expected. Every single year. It's the most predictable fucking outcome. If you could bet this, I mean, I don't have a fucking FanDuel app. They forced me to watch the FanDuel Sports Network, mind you, that's based in Southern California, but you can't use the fucking FanDuel Sports app to bet here. Make it make sense. Typical California type shit. But if you could bet every year the Yankees either not hitting or having a poor record or losing a bunch of games in June, you could become a millionaire. It's the most predictable outcome, I think, of any team every year. The Yankees will be subpar in June. It's guaranteed, It's as much as a guarantee as you can get. We got a pretty solid turnout tonight. A lot of people irritated. I'm sorry, Chad. I have not been reading those as I vent into my fucking microphone in front of a camera. It's pretty crazy, but it's great to have you guys in here. It's a great vent session for all of us who are frustrated as fuck and need an outlet to get this shit out. You can't go to bed with this type of fucking hate and anger in your chest at night. You can't do it. You got to get it out. Get in the chat, spew as much fucking anger and passion as you can into this fucking chat here, and let it eat. Because this is not fun baseball to watch. This is not enjoyable. This is that meme every time you see that meme. It's like, hey honey, the Yankees are on at such and such time, and then the guy's all fucking depressed and goes, yes honey, to fucking watches the game. Like, this is not enjoyable. And it's every single game. Doesn't matter if Carlos Rodon's on the hill. Doesn't matter if Max Fried's on the hill. Doesn't matter if the bullpen does well. Doesn't matter if, Clark Schmidt gets into the 8th inning without giving up a fucking run. That's what, your 3rd or 4th best starter? You can't win that game against the Angels at home? What game are you going to win? If you're not winning that game, I don't know what game you're going to win. But tip of the cap to Clark Schmidt, man. 7 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, no walks, 3 Ks. The guy was fantastic. he needs to get more respect on Twitter. Clark Schmidt needs to get more respect on Twitter. He's very easily called Clark shit as soon as he gives him a couple runs. But the guy is a quality start machine. He's the perfect middle of the rotation, back into the rotation starting pitcher. You got to respect the guy. For those of you who are watching right now on Twitter, if you're watching on Twitter, I appreciate all of you guys being here. Keep filling up this chat, man. I'm going to read some of them here in a second. Keep going with those. Keep voicing your frustrations. But if you're watching on Twitter, go to my Twitter page, click the link in my bio, subscribe to the Lasagna Show, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and let's have some fun for the rest of the year. We're going to keep doing this Monday through Thursday through the playoffs all year long. I'm working on ways to make it more engaging for you guys. So it's going to be really fun going forward. This show is going to keep evolving. It's going to be a good time. And nights like this, get shit off your chest. Come on here, get angry. Get the hate off your heart before you go to bed. It's not healthy. All right. Let me get to some of these comments here. We got Nick says, can Schmidt hit? I'll take him over Volpe. Ouch. I vowed not to say anything bad about Volpe. After the series in Anaheim, he came through in that moment. I said it on Twitter. If he comes through right here, I won't talk bad about him. He shut me up, so I can't. I'm not going to say nothing. But I'm just going to leave that. I'm just going to leave that about alone. Going to leave it alone. I'm scroll up a little bit and try to catch some of these longer comments here. So Nick says, okay, let's start with Michael. He says, it's beyond infuriating. The whole lineup up and down is shit now. And then you got Judge diving for a ball that's 175 yards in front of him. That was a terrible choice for Judge to dive there. They're lucky that run didn't end up scoring. But what the hell was he thinking? Keep the ball in front, dude. It's late in the game, close game. You don't got to lay off for that. Especially him. He's 300 pounds. If he falls wrong, he cracks 3 ribs. Like, bro, take care of yourself. Keep the ball in front. Not a good play there. Nick says, how the fuck did this happen? We were forced to watch Ohtani pitch, then immediately watched one at bat from Volpe to ruin a rally. I didn't see the Ohtani. He's probably throwing, an inning or two tonight. I don't have it on right now, but I'll probably catch a highlight or two later. But AP says, hard to watch. It's disappointment after disappointment. You are right there, especially after that Red Sox series. What the fuck was that, man? I missed a couple of those games. I had some shit going on. I played golf one day. That was ugly, man. You get your ass kicked by the Dodgers. You have the Red Sox coming to town. You lose 2 out of 3 when they're struggling. You go to Fenway, try to right the wrong, and you get kicked in the teeth. Aaron Judge, nowhere to be found after the off day. Couldn't hit anything outside of that ball he grooved off of Crochet, but man, it's a tough watch, man. The calendar flips to June and the whole team goes to shit. I don't know what it is, but you would think the manager would figure something out. Can't happen every year. Do something differently, bro. This shit's not working. But we expect different things to happen. But they repeatedly watch Loaizaga go out there for a second inning and work and shit himself. They can't figure that out. I can't give them credit for anything else. So they're flying by the seat of their pants and they have their heads stuck in their fucking Excel spreadsheets. No type of instinct, no type of wherewithal to understand the natural flow of the game, things that are working, things that are not. Not everything has to be based in analytics. Analytics are good. More information is always good. The more information you have, the more likely you'll make an educated guess, because that's what it is. You can't predict baseball. It's an educated guess based on some of the numbers you have, whether a guy's hot, even though they don't believe in hot. I'm sorry, guys can be hot. You gather as much information as possible to try to make the best educated guess possible. And I feel like sometimes they rely too much on the numbers and there's not enough natural instinct for the natural flow of the game. I just don't see it. And a prime example is continue to put Loaizaga out there in the second inning of work, and it continues to not work out more often than not. Sometimes he gets away with it, but oftentimes it doesn't. More often than not, it doesn't. And it's ugly to watch, and we know it's coming. I tweet about it before it happens, and it ends up happening. It's just, if you can't get that right with the guy that's continually getting hurt, why would you, the guy that always has forearm and elbow to shoulder, why would you continue to put him out there in a second inning of work, sit in the dugout, get cold, have to come out and re-warm up, get the tendons, ligaments, shoulder caps, so have to get a lot of shit re-warmed up from sitting. That's how guys get hurt, especially a guy like that continues to get hurt. These little things, man. This is just common sense shit. It doesn't work out. There's no reason to force Loaizaga into that second inning of work. There's just no reason for it other than stealing outs And they said this a couple years ago. They wanted Loaizaga to be the guy to take the Michael King role in the bullpen, the multiple inning setup guy. You're fitting a square peg into a round hole there, buddy. It's not going to work. He either gets hurt or he doesn't look good in the second inning. How many more times does it have to happen until you figure it out? I can't fucking help you there. But yeah, it's just hard to watch lately, man. This is just Jacob, what is up, man? I am doing all right, but that's tough baseball to watch, man. That's a wasted 3 hours. Kyle says, how the fuck does a game go 11 innings and have 15 total hits and ends 1-0? Because we lack basic situation in baseball. A lot of mistakes out there. Poor situational hitting, poor base running. The ball that got hit to third or Dominguez got tagged out, that was just bad luck. That's not chalked up to, poor base running. That was just a 1 in a million chance that the ball was hit there at the exact same time that the runner got there for Rengifo to catch it and put a tag down. That was just bad luck. But, there's a lot more moments in that game that led to them losing this thing outside of that. So one unlucky play there at third is not going to kill you. But, over the course of 11, 12 innings, you don't score a run. There's a lot of little things you got to do better to make sure you score a run there. It's pathetic to watch, man. These at-bats, swinging at balls up in the zone. Austin Wells swinging at balls at his neck. Jazz, same thing, swinging balls at his neck, chasing balls way inside. Certain guys swinging first pitch, trying to get out there and jump a pitcher, thinking they're going to get a cookie first pitch. Like that last at bat in the game, it was a breaking ball. He's out in front, he just taps it to third, and that's game. Like, uncompetitive. Take a pitch, bro. It's basically loaded. Put the pressure on the pitcher, man. Get a read on the arm angle. Get a read on the speed. See the spin. You can take a pitch and live to see another day. Try to get a lengthy at bat there. Maybe there's a pass ball. Maybe he falls behind 2-1. Like, a lot of different scenarios that you didn't even give a chance to see if they would possibly happen, because you're out there trying to jump a dude first pitch thinking you're going to get a cookie, and you got a breaking ball because they knew you were going to swing first pitch. You're out front. You rolled over, and that's it. I mean, it just the approach just makes no sense sometimes. I just don't understand it. It's just, you see it repeatedly over and over and over again. Maybe this team does get to the World Series, but some of these glaring weaknesses are going to catch up to you eventually. Last year, what did we keep saying all season? These fundamentals are bad. The fielding, bad. Players out of position, bad. Situational hitting, bad. Base running, bad. Like, we were saying that all year last year, and everyone's like, no, blah, you're just overly negative, blah, 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 blah. You're pointing out legitimate problems. And then the World Series, what happens? You face the Dodgers, a team that's pretty fundamentally sound, and all of your base running, lack of situational hitting, all of your errors, your guys playing out of position, everything came back to bite them in the ass. Those were all things we were talking about in the middle of the summer last year. So you can't just chalk it up to, middle of the year, it's just June. That shit shows up when you play good teams. You got to figure it out, figure it the fuck out, dial it in, solve the problem, and be better later in the season when the games really matter. The Yankees can't seem to figure that out sometimes. Last year, they couldn't figure it out. First time in the World Series in what felt like a billion years, figure it the fuck out. Lost the World Series. June looks bad now. Same type of shit we see every year. Lack of hitting with runners in scoring position. Lack of fundamentals, bad situational hitting, can't move runners, base running's bad. What's the one constant? The one thing, the players come and go. Hitting coach got changed a couple years ago. Bench coach got changed. Rojas is still, third base coach, but Aaron Boone is the leader of this clubhouse, man. When is this shit going to change? It's the same June swoon every year. It's the same boneheaded mistakes. It's the same lack of situational hitting. It's the same bad fundamental baseball. It's the same not having any situational awareness. What happened with Dominguez the other day? Didn't know how many outs there were. Late in the game the other day, Volpe tries to steal third, gets thrown out. How many more boneheaded fucking plays in tight games, in key situations? How much more of this do we have to watch? Everyone thought it was Gleyber Torres. That was the big fuck up all these years. He's gone. And what continues to happen? The same fuck ups. Thomas, it is on the players, bro. It is on the players. But the manager sets the tone in the clubhouse. He's the culture setter. The manager emphasizes what the attitude and the culture of that baseball team is going to be. When you emphasize the little things and you harp on them, tight defense, solid fundamentals, situational awareness, move runners, situational hitting, all those different things. The Dodgers really good at it in the World Series. We saw it. Us, not so good. And it's the same shit every year. What's the constant? The manager. If you haven't played a decently high level of baseball, high school varsity, junior college, Division I, whatever, above 12 years old, you understand the tone that a manager sets within a ball club. You understand the culture that's set. You understand the work ethic. You understand the grit. You understand, coming through in the clutch, guys doing the little things, sacrifice, situational hitting, move a runner, situational awareness, base running, all these different things. There's a reason some teams do it better than others. And the Yankees have young, athletic players who are fully capable of running the bases properly, understanding the situations, going the other way to move a runner. The Yankees have the players that are capable of doing this. Why don't they do it? The players keep changing. Guys playing different positions. Paul Goldschmidt's here. Oh, all the defense is fixed. DJ LeMahieu's playing second. Oh, yeah, everything's fixed. Trent Grisham in center. Like, you keep patching holes, and the merry-go-round of players keeps changing, but the same bullshit keeps happening. So what's the constant? If you can't figure that out, I can't help you. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Tough to watch today, man. Tough to watch. Something I did hear earlier was the Andrew McCutchen quote, supposedly. I had no clue this was a thing. Apparently the baseballs are confirmed to be different. I mean, I got to get into that. Thomas says, well, they've been in the playoffs 6 of 7 years under Boone and won a pennant. The American League's been bad. The team constantly has good players on it and continually underperforms. That was the first time they've been in the World Series since 2009. How many more Garrett Coles and Aaron Judges and Giancarlo Stantons, and how many more good players do you need on the roster to win a championship? The Texas Rangers won a random-ass championship. The Red Sox have, 4 championships since 2004? The San Francisco Giants managed to win 3 in, 6 years? Cardinals have a couple. The Astros have a couple. The Dodgers have a couple. All these other teams can figure it out. When it's the Yankees, it's all these weird excuses. Oh, it's just bad luck. Just certain things happen. It's not a crapshoot. There's a method to the madness. Some teams do it better than others. The Yankees can't. Sorry. Got to the World Series last year. Why? Juan Soto was a big part of it. Garrett Cole pitched his ass off. Giancarlo Stanton clutch. Super clutch. American League was not that good. We got the Royals and the Guardians. 2 teams we both own to get to the World Series. And you got there, and you got gentlemen swept. So, not a ton of resistance in the American League. Are we going to credit Boone for that? I don't know. You can keep making excuses for the guy, but, he's continually giving players that are really good, all-star players, perennial all-stars. And what happens? Underperform pretty often. That World Series should have been more competitive than that. Every year, start out hot, middle of the year, fall off a fucking cliff. Why does it always happen? Can you figure that out? Can the manager figure it out? Can anybody figure it out? Doesn't seem like they can. So McCutchen has a quote here. I was told by a rep from MLB the balls are indeed different this year. They stated higher seams, which produces more drag in the baseball, causing baseballs to not travel as far as they would. When asked why, I was told every baseball is hand-sewn, so no ball is the same. When I asked if there's something that can be done about correcting the current performance of this year's baseball, I was told there's nothing they can do about it this season, but they're working hard on getting to the bottom of why the seams are higher. That's not a coincidence. That's being done on purpose. We saw the ball. We saw how many balls did we see hit to the track today that I thought Bellinger had 2 homers. Goldschmidt crushed one to center. I thought that was gone. Judge crushed one to center. I thought that was gone. T-Rant hit one to the gap, left center gap, kind of center field-ish. Thought I had a chance to maybe drop, split a gap. Didn't. Interesting, man. It's weird that this would be a thing when, pitching is as nasty as it's ever been. Guys are throwing harder than ever. Every team has, a couple of random fucks in their bullpen throwing a billion, except for us for some reason. But, starting pitchers throwing hard. Soriano's throwing 99-mile-an-hour sinkers today. random bullpen guys throwing gas. Breaking balls are nasty. Just follow the pitching ninja on Twitter. Watch those highlights every day. Pitchers are fucking nasty, nastier than they've ever been. So why would you elevate the seams on the baseball? Not only does that create more drag when the ball's hitting the air, but you're giving an advantage to the pitchers who have high spin rates to throw some nasty fucking breaking balls. Higher the seams, the more drag, which means when you throw those breaking balls, it's going to do some weird shit in the air because there's more drag. There's more resistance against the ball. It makes it break more. It makes it harder to hit. So you would think, every year, you look at, every year since like 2017, outside of the juice balls year, the OPS gradually goes down and down and down and down. I know there's, you got the torpedo bats and all that kind of stuff going on, but, it's interesting that they wouldn't make prioritizing offense more of a thing. I mean, maybe the extra innings rule is one of those things that helps produce more runs in extra innings. The pitch clock, kind of puts some pressure on these guys to, hurry things up and not having as much rest in between pitchings, maybe get more fatigued, miss a ball middle, get smoked. But, higher seams, balls dying at the track, making things harder on the hitters to suppress offense even more. I'm not a fan of that. I don't think the fans are. I don't think the fans are happy with that. I don't think it's good for the game. I'm not just saying that because the Yankees had a few balls that should have gone out tonight, but more offense means more ratings, which means more people watching the games, which means more fun, more excitement, and the game grows and becomes more exciting. So, it is what it is. But Wilson says I can't hear you. I'm not muted, so I'm not sure. No, maybe that's on your end. Can you guys hear me? I don't know. Not 100% sure, but everything seems fine over here. Chris says both Girardi and Torre won a World Series in the first 5 years of being Yankees manager. Boone hasn't. Why are people defending him? I can go on Boone. Boone was hired to coddle these guys. I'm sorry. Thank you, WNY Yankees. He says, you rock, man. Best follow. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Ian and Ness says you sound fine. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Spangler, thank you, man, for chiming in. You got me scared. One time I fucked up and I was talking into a muted mic, so you scared me a little bit there. Don't want to be just howling at the wind. But for those of you who are watching on Twitter, for those of you who are on YouTube, I appreciate you guys so much for subscribing. If you are on Twitter, please go to my Twitter page, click the blue link in my bio, subscribe to the Lasagna Show, leave a comment, like this video, and follow along the rest of the season. It's going to be a really good time. I hope to continue to see you guys in here. Yeah, man, the Boone defending, I just don't understand it. He was brought in to be the complete opposite of Joe Girardi. He was coming in to, connect, be a better communicator with the young guys. I call it coddling. I don't know what he does behind closed doors, but it just seems like, guys get away with a lot. They said last year after the Jazz trade, Gleyber Torres basically refused to change positions or, kind of help them out with some, figuring things out with where Jazz was going to play. I think they wanted Jazz to go to second, and Gleyber said, nope, not doing it. Gleyber had to be benched one time for fucking around. It just seems like it's not a really tight ship in there. He's like the parent that wants to be a friend with the kid more than, a somewhat authoritative figure to the kid. Sometimes you need some tough love. Sometimes you need to fucking, get in there and rim somebody's ass. I need to see some neck veins. I need to see you pissed off. I mean, this type of shit in June just can't keep happening. This is ugly baseball to watch, man. I feel bad for everyone who went to the stadium today. Packed house, sitting there waiting for a run for what, 11, 12 innings? How long did that fucking game go? 12? It went 11. 11 innings of just agonizing offense. 1 for 18 with the runners in scoring position, end up with 0 runs. You lose 1-0. That is brutal to watch, man. People spent real money to go watch that damn game. I'm glad it wasn't me, but kudos to you guys, who were out there sitting through that. That's tough to watch, man. It's tough to watch from my couch. It's just brutal. Figure something out, man. This is ugly. You get swept in Boston. You look like a bunch of weenies. You get the Angels who are under 500. This should be This should be a sweep 2 out of 3 at minimum. They still can't be 2 out of 3. It absolutely can. But this should be a sweep. This should be an easy series where you can put some pressure on the Rays to win every game they're playing right now. Because they're only 3.5 back. Maybe 3 now in the division. that big lead's starting to look pretty ugly. That whole, American League East is going to be a cakewalk. Not looking good right now. So they can, if they keep, I didn't say cream pie, I said cream puffs. Easy there, man. Jeez, tough crowd. Yeah, just tough to watch, man. Kudos to all you guys that went to the game tonight. I respect the dedication, man. That game should have been more entertaining. But I got to give some credit to Soriano, man. His stuff was phenomenal. It was 50% sinker, and he was up to 99 miles an hour on that damn thing. That thing was heavy. Players were pounding that shit into the ground. Dude was tough to hit. Elevating fastballs when he needed to. Knuckle curve was filthy. It had a great bite to it. When you throw 99, it's going to mean you got better spin on your breaking stuff. And he was snapping off some really nice breaking balls, man. He looked tough to hit. His slider was 91 miles an hour. His four-seamer was 99. He got 14 swings and misses. 7 innings, gave up no runs. I mean, guy was filthy, but there's no excuse to not hit the bullpen. You got to hit the pen. Pen's not that good, man. Angels are not that good. They improved their record to 34 and 37. They're 3 games under. They were somewhat close in their division, and they've free fallen. You just can't be losing games like that. You just can't. This reminds me of, the old series back in the early 2000s when the Yankees were playing the Angels. The Angels are always a pain in the ass. Always a pain in the ass. Didn't matter when. It's like Adam Kennedy, Sean Figgins, Garrett Anderson, Meiser Turris, Eric Ibar, John Lackey, all these guys, man. They just Joe Saunders, Scott Shields, K-Rod. The Angels have been a pain in the ass for a long time. This feels like, bad team coming in. Yankees pissed off after getting swept in Fenway. This felt like a game where the Yankees get fat and happy, run up your stats. And the Soriano came in and said, "Not on my watch, buddy." You let Kenley Jansen off the hook. Kenley Jansen throwing 93-mile-an-hour cutters. The guy's cooked, man. He's not that good. Where's his numbers at? Kenley is at his ERA is 4.74. I didn't even know that. Fuck. How do you let that guy push you around at home? Good hitters at the plate. You're over there waving that bullshit, man. This is just poor baseball. Tough to watch. So many opportunities, so many wasted opportunities, so much poor fundamental baseball. I keep saying it over and over again. It just drives me fucking crazy. This team is better than that. It is a lineup with a lot of young players, though. You have Ben Rice, you got Dominguez, you got Volpe, Austin Wells getting his first crack at a full season as a primary catcher. Then you got guys like Paul Goldschmidt, who's has regressed some. Bellinger was hot for a bit, kind of come back down to earth, even though he stung a couple of baseballs tonight. Stung them. Nothing really to show for it there. DJ LeMahieu's kind of coming back down to earth a little bit. It's Trent Grisham's regressed. So it's a group that super hot all at once. Now they're super cold all at once, and they just can't figure it out. Even Aaron Judge had a rough series in Boston. So it's not fun to watch right now. It's tough. Absolutely tough to watch. Josh P says Yankees Twitter defends Boone like he's Babe Ruth on the 27 squad. Yeah, I'll never understand it. My view of him is completely different than a lot of people's for a lot of different reasons, but I'm not going to sit here and explain that shit every night. I've said what I've said. I've voiced my opinions on him. If you like it, cool. If you don't, also cool. Not a big deal. I'm going to keep talking about it, though. So if you don't like it, keep scrolling or figure something else out. Let's see. Reading some more of these comments. Thank you guys all for contributing. This is awesome. Yankee Great says, watch the whole game. Sickening to watch. That's tough, man. We all wasted 3 hours of our life watching that fucking travesty. Spangler says, playing the Yankees is every pitcher's World Series. We never bring the fire. Soriano was fucking on it tonight. Josh P says, very 2015 vibes from this team. Lead the division until late June, July. Then continue to free fall. Spangler says, going to a Yankees game is like 1,000th on the list of fun things to do in New York City these days. Ouch. I still like going to the baseball and drinking some beers and shit, but, when they're hitting like this, it's a gamble. You don't know when the offense is going to turn around if they're going to keep hitting like this. It's tough. Yankee Great says, can't watch any Boone post game. Oh God, I can't. Anytime I don't watch Yes Network over here. I don't have it. I don't watch the post game, but when I'm scrolling Twitter after the game and I see the video of Boone's post game, I just keep scrolling by. I can't stand his voice. I can't stand his dumb face. I just can't stand the guy at all. The day he's not the manager of this baseball team, oh my God, one of the happiest days of my life. Outside of the day when Aaron Hicks got released. That was an awesome day. It'll be very similar though, very similar vibes. We'll very much so enjoy that. WNY says 1 for 18 runs in scoring position. The hit was actually an error that didn't produce a run. Very true. Bills Mafia 056 says Boone's presser after the Sox series was cancer. Ouch. I don't like the C word, man, but I'm sure it was pretty bad. I don't listen to it. I really don't care. But speaking of the Red Sox, Rafael Devers gets traded. Holy shit. Nobody saw that coming. Last couple of days have been pretty fun trolling Red Sox fans for, those of them who said that Devers would never be traded. Pretty fun seeing some of those old tweets and messing with them. They didn't see it coming. None of us saw it coming. They gave him a big contract. He had a rough start to the season, but he's been hitting lately. Rafael Devers, man, he terrorizes the Yankees every chance he gets. He felt like the modern day David Ortiz for them. He owns Garrett Cole. He comes up in the clutch. He hits a home run almost every time we play against him. I think he had 30-something home runs against the Yankees in his short career. He hasn't been playing that long. Was it 5, 6 years, 7 years? So it's not like he's been in the league for 12 years, a decade. He's been around for a bit, but he's, he owns us. So to see him get traded for what? Harrison and Jordan Hicks and a prospect that looks somewhat decent. I mean, Craig Breslow. I know I don't want to be talking crazy on here, but there's some fans on Twitter that aren't too happy with him. I think someone shared his address. People are going crazy, man. I mean, Devers was the face of that team, face of the organization. And not only that, but when the Yankees play the Red Sox, even if both teams are shit, if the Yankees are good and the Red Sox are shit, it's still a fun rivalry. It's still one of those series where you can expect Devers to come through against us because he always does. It was the one thing Red Sox fans could, even in a down year, they can, they can count on Devers to come through and cook the Yankees. And that, it's fun for them. At Yankee Stadium, at Fenway, he went oppo the other day over the Green Monster, which is crazy. He hit a nuke the other day, the other series in New York. He's tough, man. He feels like the modern day David Ortiz all over again. He was going to terrorize us for the next decade. Then he gets moved for scraps. Like, holy fuck. I thought it was, there's so many of those like parody accounts these days. It's, you got Fact Sports and you got Talking Bossa Bell or whatever the fuck, how you spelled it. Talking Yanks, NBA Centel. You got all the parody accounts, that fool people. There's like a Sham Sharania fake account. There was like a fake Woj account, a fake Adam Schefter account. They're always out there reporting crazy shit. And if you don't look real close, you can get fooled. So I had to do a lot of due diligence before I believed that Rafael Devers was actually traded after they swept us. That was absolutely insane. And I saw Passan, and even though it was Passan, there's a fake Jeff Passan account out there too. So I was looking real close at all the letters in Passan's name, Passan. Holy shit, it's really him. Click on his profile, make sure he's got like 1 million followers. Okay, that's actually him. And then it sunk in. We don't got to see Devers anymore. We play the Red Sox. Holy shit. Garrett Cole's jumping for joy on Father's Day. Probably a beautiful scene in that household. Yeah, but awesome. Awesome news for us. Horrible news for the Red Sox. I mean, they moved Mookie Betts a handful of years ago for nothing. Verdugo fizzled out. I think that Jeter Downs kid was involved in that deal, I think. Dick Fitz, I don't know if he was involved in that, funny name. But that trade was a whole disaster. And this one doesn't look any better. Jordan Hicks tried to be a starter, didn't look great. He does throw hard still, but is he going to be a reliever? Is he going to start for them? If he starts, not ideal because his numbers don't look great. Harrison used to have some high praise coming out of the minors. He threw a little harder. For some reason, his velo tanked, and he's not, as efficient as a starting pitcher as he should be. It just feels like the Red Sox got a whole lot of nothing for Devers, who, the Giants are good this year. They're, trending in the right direction. They're trying to compete with the Dodgers in the division. Rafael Devers goes over there. Now they get a solid bat, middle of the order, playoff proven. He's a World Series champ. Buster Posey adds a solid bat for a whole lot of nothing. It feels like, tip of the cap to him. They took on the money. Some people thought it was kind of, crazy to take on that money for a DH, but now you got they finally got their star after trying to go for Correa, trying to go for Judge, trying to go for some other players. They did get Willie Adames, but he's been a little down this year. I think they have Matt Chapman there still, but you can slot Devers right there in the middle of the order, and he's going to hit. He's absolutely going to hit. He's going to be hitting balls in McCovey Cove. And I think they showed the overlay of Devers' spray chart in terms of what he was hitting. A lot of balls in McCovey Cove, a lot of balls out in center, a lot of balls out in left. So he's going to be just fine there. It's just crazy to see the Red Sox couldn't. It sounded like Devers wasn't willing to play first. Maybe he wanted to play third. Maybe he didn't like DHing. They couldn't get on the same page, or they pissed him off. He stopped responding to what they wanted. And, bad blood, you couldn't really fix it even after you handed him a big contract, and they've had to move him. So great for us. Fantastic for us. Yankees don't have to worry about facing him anymore. So it looks like the Red Sox, based on what their lineup was today, a lot of young guys in there, a lot of prospects getting looks. Bregman's coming back soon, so that's going to help. I think they're missing a couple other guys too. But, man, it's going to be nice facing the Red Sox here soon again. I think they play them relatively soon. I have to check the schedule, but it's going to be nice playing the Red Sox without having to see Devers in that lineup. It's going to be great, especially for Garrett Cole next year or 2027, whenever he gets back. So very interesting stuff, man. Michael G says, Boone said not necessary on Volpe taking a pitch. He says sometimes first pitch is the best. Bunch of laughing faces. I mean, he's not 100% wrong. There are times where you might get a cookie first pitch. I don't think you have to, necessarily always swing at it. If you're thinking of jumping the first pitch and you make up your mind that you're going to swing, that's when it's a problem. Sometimes, some guys are guess hitters. Some guys make up in their mind that they're going to swing, and they swing at anything. It seemed like Volpe was going to swing no matter what, or he thought he was getting a fastball and it was a breaking ball, and he just got fooled. But tough call there. If he was probably looking dead red fastball, didn't want to miss it. It was a breaking ball. He got fooled, rolled over, and that's the game. So, man, cock tease, man. So many opportunities. So many times the Yankees could have driven in a run, moved a runner over, made things easy on themselves. DJ, horrible bunts. Just gift wrapping more opportunities to the Angels to get out of jams and figure out a way to win the ball game, and they did. They're a bad team. Sorry, Angels fans. Angels aren't good. And the Yankees, according to their record, everyone's, oh, look at the Yankees record. They're going to be a shoo-in to get back to the World Series. I don't know about that anymore. Yes, the AL is still a little bit weaker, but Houston's playing better. Detroit's tough, man. You're going to get schoolable a few times in a 7-game set. You better hope you get KC and the Guardians again. That's probably your easiest path, just like last year. You're going to have to get lucky and get some teams that you can handle. Yankees seem to be pretty damn good about the AL Central outside of the Tigers, so probably the easiest path to get to the big dance. But, man, some of the things we've seen lately, especially in rivalry series, 2 series against the Red Sox, 1 World Series rematch against the Dodgers, in the regular season where things can get kind of monotonous over the course of 162. You want to get up for those rivalry matchups. You want to get up for the big, primetime TV series, Sunday Night Baseball, Friday night under the lights, Saturday afternoon on Fox. You're looking for those big time slots against good teams. Everyone's excited about it. Crowd's packed, adrenaline's pumping. The Yankees have fallen flat in their face. 2 series against the Red Sox, including a sweep, and then against the Dodgers, 1 game they lost 18-2. So these are kind of tests, early to middle of the season. You're kind of like, there's a lot of baseball to go, but I'm not liking, how they respond to those big time, clutch moments, nationally televised games, crowds pumped, adrenaline's pumping, pressure moments. I just don't like how they reacted to some of those. And then games like tonight, the continued lack of fundamental baseball, the poor situational hitting that we see over and over again, the typical June swoon, things snowball. One bad thing happens and a bunch of bad things happen. First few innings, you can't drive in some runs. You can't move runners. You can't get out of jams, or you can't score runs when you have the other team in a jam, and then it just snowballs through the rest of the game. Like, flip a switch, man. Figure something out. It's tough to watch sometimes, man. This is one of those games where everyone's pissed off. Everyone's got something to say. Everyone's got an opinion. And there's no wrong opinions. Fans are fans. Fan is short for fanatic. We get pissed off. Sometimes we overreact. Sometimes, we say things that are probably stupid when we look back on it in a few months. But after a game like that, you're pissed off. not easy to watch. You just wasted 3 hours of your life watching the Yankees lose to a bad team. So not fun to watch. Speaking of bunting, there was a moment there where Jazz was on first, and I thought, I think it'd be a good moment for Volpe to drag bunt here. I think Volpe's got good wheels. I think Jazz is solid, And some people were telling me a right-handed batter can't drag bunt. Yeah, they can. Right-handed batter, drag bunts to third, push bunts to first. Left-handed batter, drag bunts to first, push bunts to third. I thought that was like elementary school level basic baseball there, but all right, guys, for those of you who are still watching, please go to my Twitter page, click the blue link in my bio, subscribe to the Lasagna Show, like this video, leave some comments, and let's have some fun for the rest of the season. Tonight, not that fun, but, we'll see what we got tomorrow. We have Kyle Hendricks on the hill. We better smash that dude. Those like 88. Will Warren's going to get a good shot to keep the good pitching going. So, once again, I appreciate all you guys being in here. Thank every one of you for coming in. I think we have over 2,600 people watching tonight. Everyone's pissed off. I appreciate all of you guys chiming in. It's been fun tonight. Get some anger off of our chest before we hit the sack and relax a little bit. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Go Yankees, and hopefully tomorrow's better. Peace.